This is a great time to be a fundamental stock picker. The indexes have been on an unbelievable run the last decade. It's unlikely the S&P is going to be able to sustain that run. Therefore, fundamental stock pickers that focus on high quality, great companies are likely to outperform the index over the next 10 years. And also, there's never been an easier time to do that fundamental research online. And so we're going to go over the top 5 free resources you can use online to do that research. So number 1 is whalewisdom.com. This is a great resource for idea generation. So if you want to look at top professional investors, some of the largest hedge funds in the world, Warren Buffett, you name it, you can go online and look at their holdings ranked by position sizing. You can see what their likely purchase price was based on prior reports. And these are reports that are submitted to the SEC on a quarterly basis. If you're above a certain amount, you have to report your holdings to the SEC every quarter. This is called a 13F. And it's public information, and there's these great websites that aggregate that data, and they pull it together, and you can go ahead and just search and look at your favorite investor, your favorite asset manager, and see what they're actually holding in their portfolios. Now, a couple caveats to this. This is long only one, so it doesn't show their shorts if they have any. It also is on a delay. They tend to not be produced until 45 days after the quarter. So by the time you see the report in the holdings, that investor might have sold that asset already. Therefore, you could be getting what you think is a great idea from your favorite investor who has decided that, oh, this is a dog now. I found out some new information. We're selling it. So it's just an idea generation to do your own fundamental research. It's not for you to just carbon copy it because, as we've talked about before, you have to have conviction in your holdings if you're going to buy individual positions. Otherwise, when inevitably there's a drawdown, 10, 20, 30% of that position, and you don't understand the business, you haven't done your own research, you are going to sell it. You're going to dump it because you didn't do the homework. Number 2 is ROIC.ai. This is a solid free resource that shows you a lot of the fundamental metrics on a share basis. And it's actually formatted similar to Value Line research. You might be familiar with that format. They've been around forever and do great research. It's a one-page format that shows the financials at a high level and a lot of the metrics that professional investors want to look at to try to evaluate a stock. It's generally a pretty good screener before you want to dig in deeper on the financials and company. Number 3, Koyfin. Koyfin.com is basically Bloomberg Light. They've tried to take most of the information that you would get from your $20,000 a year Bloomberg subscription and put it into an online format. The free information is helpful, but obviously it gets a lot better with the upgraded subscriptions. I generally like to use Koyfin for watch list, right? Creating kind of a bench portfolio to see when companies that you like are starting to get cheap or reasonable. Number 5 is Ticker, TIKR. This is similar to Koyfin. They have slightly better screens, in my opinion, a different format, which you may or may not prefer, but I would say the Ticker's got less bells and whistles, but still a decent option. On to number 5, Morningstar. Morningstar has got a ton of investment research and investment management insights. I think they've probably done the best job of distilling information into a part-time investor-friendly format that's easy to digest. They're also very good at ranking and giving details on ETFs and mutual funds, if that's more your speed versus stock selection. But overall, the free account is great. We'll give you a bonus one here. Number 6 is Seeking Alpha. I would be a little careful with this one. A lot of amateur stock pickers are submitting articles and giving their estimates of valuation, which may or may not be good work. So take that site with a grain of salt, but they do have a lot of free resources on just fundamental information. And it's interesting to get a temperature check on how the retail investor is viewing a particular stock, which may or may not be helpful, but it's a free data point. They have a lot of information on individual positions, similar to some of the other ones, but just in a different format with a lot more commentary and amateur analysis. All right, so there's 6 resources. It's a great time to be an investor because these didn't used to exist. You used to have to pay a lot of money to get this kind of research. And now it's at your fingertips. So have fun, learn something, but don't get carried away. Hopefully that was helpful. Good luck.